Hey, folks, welcome to a quick little review on this little solid 11 track banger, and that is the 40th edition of RATT's Out of the Cellar, which just came out maybe about a month ago, which was preceded by a unreleased single from 1983 titled Reach for the Sky, written by Rat guys Stephen Percy, the late Robin Crosby, and Mark Turin. But more on that in a minute. But Rat, when they dropped out of the cellar back in 1984, I mean, now that it's 40 years old, I can honestly say that it's one of the all-time great debut albums. I mean, Van Halen debut album, I mean, that's in a whole other ballpark. But for the LA scene and the metal scene in the early to mid 80s, you can't really find a better debut than Out of the Cellar. I mean, the opening track, Wanted Man, I mean, when those drums come in and the guitars kick in, Robin Crosby and Warren DeMartini were such a great dynamic duo on guitar. I mean, they both on this one, probably Warren played more leads. We all know he did the lead in Round and Round and whatnot. But, at times they can go melodic with their playing, they can go heavy. And, it shows in the tracks. I mean, You're in Trouble, of course, Round and Round, which was the big single. In Your Direction, I like those guitars where they just kind of mellow out. And, I always loved Stephen Percy's sleazy vocals, snarl, whatever you want to call them. It totally fits the vibe of what Rat were trying to do back then. From there, like I said, they can do some melodic stuff on the guitars, but then they could just punch out a heavy rocker like She Wants Money, Lack of Communications, another solid track. They had another bit of a hit single with Back from More. Everybody loves The Morning After. I mean, it's one of these deep tracks on the record. Same with I'm Insane, another deep track, which is classic. And the original album ended with Scene of the Crime, which is, I think, has some of Percy's best vocals. And that's the thing about Rat is they were all fantastic players, especially together. I mean, Juan Corsier on bass, Bobby Blotzer on drums, and of course, DeMartini and Crosby on guitars. I mean, the sum of the parts were fantastic, and it results in this. So it's real cool to get that unreleased bonus track, Reach for the Sky. At first, I was screaming, and I thought, man, this is good because I really had no intentions of buying another copy of Out of the Cellar. But Amazon had it at a decent price, and I thought, what the hell? I'm only getting it on CD. I was going to pay the ridiculous price for it on vinyl, so I stepped aside from that. But I'll show you guys. I consider Out of the Cellar, if I was to rate it out of 10, I would give it an easy 11. I mean, it's that good. But I have to say that the packaging for this could have been a bit better. I mean, granted, they do, this lenticular cover, which, you can adjust it and in the light. I guess you can't really see it here. Then it pulls off, and then so you basically got two covers, right? And there's, of course, the late Tawny Katane on it. You open it up, and you get the credits, the CD, and it's funny that you look in the credits. They've always thanked Kevin Dubrow on the various formats, but they spelled Dubrow with an O. So I don't know if that was because it's an 80s thing, because remember back in the mid 80s, Kevin Dubrow was slamming all those bands, and there's a big backlash against Quiet Riot. So I wonder if they did that intentionally, or if it's just been a glitch this whole time. I'm the last guy who should be commenting about spelling and whatnot, but they get Nikki Sixx's name right. So yeah, so this packaging, it's what you expect from the album. It has all the credits and the band guys here on the side and whatnot. But then I noticed on the inside of it, when you pull it out, there's this sleeve, and I thought, cool, it might be some backstory and whatnot. Nah, you just get another picture of the cover. And on the flip side, you get the credits of the songs. That Reach for the Sky was recorded in 1983 during the Out of the Cellar sessions. So kind of a drag, like the music's so great, the packaging, because they should have taken a look at what Twisted Sister did a few months ago, which I reviewed about a month or so ago on this channel. Twisted Sister had the original Stay Hungry. They threw in a couple of bonus tracks. Granted, RATT did that, the one track. And then they included a full live show on the second disc. And the booklet contained the backstory of the album. And they talked to the guys. And I wish RATT would have done something like that, even if it was just Percy talking about, the backstory of the record. And, he would set the story straight and whatnot. But it's still RATT out of CELLAR, a great record. I love it. It's one of my all-time faves. And if you're on the fence about it, get it and enjoy. Thanks for watching, folks.